All right, guys. UFC Fight Night Namajunas versus Cortez. Have you guys been waiting for this prediction video? Because here it is. The card we have all been waiting for. Starting off with Josh Fremd and Andre Petroski. I'm going to go for Andre Petroski for the win, probably by decision. He lost in his last fight with Jacob Malukhan, but to be honest, he was winning up until he accidentally injured himself, and he basically lost by accident. I think he's better on the feet. Josh Fremd wobbles anytime he initiates anything, especially kicks, and it takes him a moment to readjust, which is not a good look when you're going against somebody who is relatively quick. Also, Josh Fremd couldn't take down Kapulov, who pretty much had zero takedown defense. So he also finished that fight with Kapulov with a bloodied face and ate a bunch of damage. The only thing is, these dudes don't really have amazing defense, so this might just be a waiting game of who lands it on the chin first. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Andre Petroski for the win, for the decision win probably. Let's move on to the next fight, which is with Luana Santos and Mariya Agapova. I'm gonna go with Mariya Agapova for the win. I think she's just way better on the feet. Luana also throws the most bizarre swings I've ever seen. Mariya's last fight in the UFC was in 2022, which was with Julian Robertson. And to be honest, Julian Robertson won that fight via pure determination and persistence. But the thing is, even when Julian was choking out Mariya, she didn't tap. She was just turning purple and biting her tongue, but she just went to bed, did not tap, which was pretty impressive. I think she's a really true warrior. And the thing is, I just don't think that Luana has the savage in her, and I think that you need the savage in you to win against Mariya Agapova. Like Julian Robertson, she has the savage in her, and I just don't think that Luana does, to be honest. So also, I think Mariya has been improving on her grappling. She had a grappling loss against Helena Krivar, but that girl has a perfect grappling record. But I do think she's been working on her grappling, since the Julian Robertson loss. It is a little concerning that she hasn't had a fight in a while, but also I'm gonna believe in her on this card, to be honest. I just think that, again, as I said, you need to be a savage to win against her, and I just don't think that Luana Santos is that much of a savage. The next fight on the card was supposed to be Viviane Araujo versus Jasmine Jasudavicius, but now it's with Jasmine versus Fatima Klein. I was originally going to pick Jasmine Jasudavicius, but and now that Fatima Klein is stepping in, I watched one of her fights. She has pretty good grappling. She has really long legs that she uses, especially on the ground. And to be honest, I like her energy more. She's more determined. And in that last fight that she was fighting in, the commentators were saying, the fight she was fighting in previously, she, experienced some sort of enlightening moment. And now she came back way more determined. Sometimes people just, get enlightened, like Brian Ortega, So maybe, I think this is one of those cases. Possibly, we don't know, because this is her UFC debut, and she's also taken the fight short notice, which is kind of sketchy, and it makes it a little difficult to predict. Jasmine also has a lot more experience than her. She's I think 8 years older or something like that. But to be honest, I really like Klein's energy, and if she shows up the same way that I saw in her fight with Trillo, she's going to show up with winning energy, and she's going to win the fight. So I think that's what's going to happen. I just don't like Jasmine Jasudavicius' energy, to be honest. I don't know, but this is also a women's MMA fight, so who the hell knows, to be honest. Who knows? These fights, you can be super sure, and they'll still go a different way, All right, let's move on to the main card. Abdul Razak Alhassan versus Cody Brundage. Guys, I'm actually going to pick Cody Brundage to win this fight. The thing is, Abdul is actually pretty good on the feet, and I think that's why he's favored to win this fight. That and Cody's last fight was a loss against Bo Nickel. But here's the thing. Abdul is a good striker, but like I was watching back Cody Brundage's fight with Zach Reese, who's also a pretty good striker, and Cody Brundage just like smushed him into a corner, and like he was able to win via brute force. And even against the super high IQ fighter like Bo Nickel, Cody was able to get creative and, you know, last until the second round, which was like the first time that had happened to Bo Nickel. Though some of you will say, oh, well, Bo Nickel's been given cans before, but still, like, Cody Brundage is tough. And here's the thing, like, Cody Brundage has been wrestling since he was a kid, which actually means something. He's good at getting the upper hand when he's on the ground, and he's also, like, durable enough not to get chinned immediately, and, like, you know, smart enough to get takedowns and be resourceful with them on the ground. So I'm going to go with Cody Brundage on this, actually, just because I think he's tougher, and I think that, like, based off of his previous performances and how he's won, like, via brute force, like, he couldn't do it against Bo Nickel because Bo Nickel's really smart, and he's just way better than him, and he was, like, literally placed as the sacrificial lamb in that fight. So yeah, I'm going to go with Cody Brundage, guys. I just think that he's going to be better on the ground, and he's one of those fighters that gets creative. So I think he can win this one. All right. Next fight up on the card, Charles Johnson versus Joshua Van. Guys, our soy boy is back. He was supposed to fight on a previous card, but that fight got canceled. Forgetting who he was going to fight. Both these dudes kind of have similar fighting styles, but I'm going to go with Joshua Van. I think Joshua Van is really good at putting on the pressure and just, like, not stopping the output. Just go, 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 go. Like, he somehow doesn't get tired, and especially if he sees his opponent wobbled, he'll just go all in. So the only thing is Charles Johnson is, like, taller, and he has a 5-inch reach advantage. I don't know if he'll take advantage of that. A lot of fighters either do or don't. You know, it doesn't always mean everything. But the thing is, like, Joshua Van, he starts off a little slow. It takes him a moment to warm up, but, like, once he gets in his groove and he finds his pace, he can really wear his opponent down. So I think that, like, he'll be able to do that to Charles Johnson. So yeah, gonna go Joshua Van for the win, guys. Next fight up is with Julian Erosa and Christian Rodriguez. So I'm actually gonna go with Christian Rodriguez by decision. Christian Rodriguez was able to win a decision against Cameron Simon, who is a pretty good defensive fighter, and he won that by just doing a little more, which is good when you're going against a defensive fighter because it means that they're blocking a lot of your strikes. He's pretty persistent. He's well-rounded. He's also, like, a brawler. Julian Erosa also got lucky in his last fight with Ricardo Ramos because he wasn't doing well that entire fight, and he just got lucky last second, probably because Ricardo Ramos was at that point, like, disrespecting him, well, not disrespecting him, but just, like, trying to get the win already. So he found himself in a guillotine, and Julian Erosa won. One note I have about Erosa, though, is that he is a new father, and, like, it seems that can sometimes give these guys, like, superpowers. I don't know, maybe it's just something about, like, having a kid changes your mindset about things, and mindset is super important, so that's the only thing. But the thing is, I think that it might just add more durability. Like, I don't think he's gonna get finished, but I also think he's gonna be on the back foot for the most part. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Christian Rodriguez by decision. All right, the next fight up is with Gabriel Bonfim and Ange Loosa. Who's gonna be the Loosa in this fight, guys? I'm gonna pick Gabriel Bonfim by sub. I'm gonna pick Gabriel Bonfim by sub. Gabriel has already fought a better version of Ange Loosa, which was Nicholas Dalby, and he lost that fight. But I think that after that loss, he's going to come prepared for any kind of explosiveness that Ange Loosa is going to show up with. You know what I mean? Ange Loosa is a pretty explosive fighter. Not as explosive as Nicholas Dalby. Doesn't have the same kind of cardio. He is very quick though, and like that's the only thing that kind of worries me, because Gabriel Bonfim has shown weaknesses when it comes to reaction time. Ange Loosa also has a pretty good takedown defense, but the thing is, I feel like it's almost mostly because he like adrenaline scrambles out of like these potential takedowns. Like he'll just like and like knock the opponent away, just get out of it somehow via like fear and adrenaline. But once he's like, I feel like he hasn't really faced a good grappler yet. No one as good as Gabriel Bonfim, I don't think. And so I'm thinking that maybe just the people who he's faced haven't been able to capitalize on their grappling with this guy. So, but I think Gabriel Bonfim will, and like once he's got him on the ground, hopefully he can wet blanket him. I've seen him do that before to people. So yeah, I think he'll be prepared, to be honest. The guy who I'm referencing, by the way, the guy who couldn't do much with him in the grappling department was Brian Battle. I think Gabriel Bonfim is a lot better than Brian Battle, so we're gonna see what happens here. I think Gabriel Bonfim has like 12 wins by submission, so he's no stranger to grappling big, strong men. Yeah, pretty much what I think is gonna happen here is Ange Loosa is gonna go in there with flying punches, and Gabriel Bonfim is just going to take him down while he's in the middle of throwing something, get him on the ground, work from there, get a submission. That's just how I think it's going to go. So yeah, Gabriel Bonfim by submission, guys. That's my prediction for that one. All right, the next fight up on the card is with Santiago Ponzinibbio and Muslim Salikhov. I'm actually going to go with Muslim Salikhov for the win, guys. And here's the thing. Santiago loses against people who are better strikers than him, like Kevin Holland and Miguel Pereira. And to be honest, I think Santiago was able to win against his fight with Alex Morono because Morono's striking is sloppier and he gassed out like he always does by like round 2, end of round 2, and going into round 3, which pretty much leaves a huge opening for the Alex Morono's opponent to get him, and that's pretty much what Santiago did in that fight, and that's how he got the win. And here's the thing: even with Alex Morono's inferior striking, Santiago left that fight like by the end of the fight before he won. His whole face was bloodied, and you know that's just not a good look. And here's the thing: Salikhov looks pretty solid in round 3. He's still shooting accurately, leg kicks landing really well, like stable on the feet, doesn't gas out, unlike Alex Morono. And yeah, generally he just lands with more accuracy. I wouldn't be surprised if Salikhov like lands a spinning leg kick or like a leg kick of any kind that gets Santiago, to be honest. I know he's 40, and that's kind of worrying, but I still think he's in pretty decent shape. I just think he's better than Santiago. I think his boxing is just a little more refined. His leg kicks are good. I think he also has like a 1-inch reach advantage on his legs. So maybe that could be helpful. Maybe he'll just win this via leg kicks. But yeah, I think he's pretty good. And the thing is, Muslim Salikhov, he's struggled against people in the past who have been quicker than him. I think it was Randy Brown that he was facing that was quicker than him. Unless I'm totally tripping. I think it was Randy Brown. Anyways, but Santiago is not that fast. They're both pretty much relatively fighting at the same pace. So that's why I'm going to go with Muslim Salikhov. I think he's got this one. And yeah. All right, let's move on to Drew Dober versus Gene Silva. Gene Silva taking this fight on super short notice. He literally just fought on the last card, guys. I picked against him initially, but then he came out on the weigh-ins looking like a fucking warrior, pounding his chest and like borderline crying. I don't like picking against guys that do that, guys. I don't like it because, you know, mindset actually means a lot in this sport, I feel. And in a way, I feel like this could go either way with these two dudes, but I'm gonna lean towards Silva. He was looking really good against Charles Jourdain during 303, dodging all of his leg kicks, like even the spinning ones, like which like he was bending his back like so far. I don't know how he managed to dodge them, but he did. Which is pretty impressive, to be honest. He was looking pretty sharp. Like some of those kicks could have been critical, and he just, managed to stay out of danger. It was pretty impressive. The only thing that worries me is he like probably came off of that win feeling super confident, and maybe that's why he's taking this fight last minute. And confidence isn't always the best thing to be going into fights with, because I feel like fighters with too much confidence tend to let their guard down, which isn't always a great thing, to be honest. But you know what? I'm going to pick Silva via greater aura. I just think that with that kind of spirit, you'll find more determination to come out on top. I think this is going to be a decision, to be honest, guys. Maybe even a split decision, but I'm going to lean towards Silva. Yeah. All right. And now moving on to the last fight on this card, the main event, a women's fight. It's with Rose Namajunas and Tracy Cortez. I'm going to go with Thug Rose by decision, because she's the best. So here's the thing. Rose Namajunas' footwork is, in my opinion, too slick for Tracy Cortez. Tracy Cortez won her last fight with Jasmine Jasudavicius, but I feel like she won that because Jasmine Jasudavicius, she doesn't move around much. She stays in one place. She's an easy target to hit. She doesn't move on her feet as slickly as Rose Namajunas does. I think Rose's speed will be an issue for Tracy Cortez. To be honest, I just see Rose outpointing Tracy. Like, Tracy hits harder, I think, but I just think that she won't land as much as Rose will. And also, Tracy took this fight on a bit of a shorter notice. I don't know what her training camp was like exactly. If you guys know, maybe let me know if you think that, Tracy's actually got good preparation for this. But as I said, I think Rose's footwork is just far superior, and I think this is going to be a boxing match. Yeah, Rose is just one of those fighters that looks like she's skating on the canvas. She's just really good. She moves really well. Her defense is pretty good too, and I like how that she believes in herself, and she comes out with her like "I'm the best" mantra. It's kind of cute. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Rose. Okay, guys, thank you for watching my predictions this week. It actually wasn't as terrible of a card as I initially thought. Like, there's some good fights here. I think I'm just like concerned about the UFC. Like, some of the fights that they put on this card, like, I don't know. It just everything's changing last minute. It seems like, I don't know. It seems like this is just like the leftover card almost. Like, there's some good fights, but a lot of the fights seem like leftovers, if you know what I mean. But maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm totally tripping. And overthinking it. Who knows? But anyhow, thank you again for watching. And I will see you on Saturday for the live stream, or maybe technically on Friday, because there's gonna be weigh-ins. And obviously, as you guys know how I feel about the weigh-ins. You can tell a lot by the energy of the fighter, how they look. Sometimes they look sick. Like, sometimes the weight cut was a little too much for them. Sometimes they have staph. I don't know, who knows. But you can sometimes tell based on how they look. So, anyhow, thank you again for watching. Probably said that for the 5th time, but anyhow, thank you for coming. And I'll see you next time.